Hey, it's Pete. Welcome back to the workshop. So this past week, I took a little bit of a vacation here from the workshop, and I went on a road trip. Down south, actually. I was heading down to Fort Meade, Florida to attend the Florida Flywheelers Antique Engine and Tractor Show. So the club grounds are nearly 240 acres, and they host 3 public shows a year. And these shows are a combination of a flea market with a swap meet and a bit of a living history element thrown in on top for the engine demonstrations they do, along with parades and tractor pulls and other exhibitions going on throughout the day. So the Flywheelers is an organization that was formed to promote interest in restoring and preserving antique engines, and it doesn't seem to matter if these engines are steam-powered or gas or diesel or liquid propane. I don't think these folks have ever seen an engine that they don't like. And this goes along well with my interest in preserving things that have a bit of nostalgia to them, like my carnival rides, to restore them and preserve them to be enjoyed by future generations. Running through this building, I discovered that one of these engines was actually a generator for a carnival, so that was kind of a cool find. One of their popular exhibitions is the twice daily running of the Snow engine. This is a 100-ton engine that develops 400 horsepower at 26,000 foot-pound of torque. It was restored on-site by club members.
It was built to pump natural gas. When the line pressure got down on the gas lines, they used these pumps in tandem to build the pressure up on the line. This is one of 2 engines that were shipped to the Door Valley gas field out in western New York State. They were in service there until 1941. It's a horizontal design engine. It has 2 pistons, one here, one down here. It fires both sides of the piston, so it's effectively a 4-cylinder, 4-stroke engine. The firing order is 1, 2, 3, 4, right down the line. We start the engine using compressed air. These lines go to the cylinders for starting. We don't have natural gas here to power the engine. We use LP. These lines, these orange lines, are for the LP gas. As I said, we start the engine using compressed air. And our senior volunteer here, our veteran of the volunteer staff here, is going to start the engine this morning. So Bob, it's up to you.
So every year at the show they feature a different tractor, and this year the tractor of choice was John Deere, and it was well represented at the show. At the daily tractor parade, it stretched on for about half an hour, and it was primarily green and yellow. And the tractors, they just kept coming. And although I personally don't have any interest in restoring a tractor, I can certainly appreciate the time and effort that went into restoring these, many of them probably to better than showroom condition. I believe next year the featured tractor is going to be the Oliver. With 240 acres to cover, you need a way to get around, and they offer cart rentals just outside the gate, but of course you're welcome to bring your own. The only limit is it can't be wider than 64 inches, and people showed no limit to their creativity in what they would travel around the grounds in. As a matter of fact, people's creativity was on display the entire weekend. So this is the sawmill, and unfortunately it was never running when I was in the area. The grounds are so large that I actually missed a few exhibitions. I didn't see them put together a Model T in under a few minutes, and I also missed the kids' pedal tractor pulls. I did catch another parade, though. This was the daily antique car parade. The club has an area they refer to as the village, and it's just a number of buildings that you might actually see in a village, things like churches and gas stations, and they're open that you can look around and see what they have on display inside.
Okay, Contraptions for 335.68. On that Rondeau and 335.68.
One of the highlights for me was the Olde machine shop. This is a building that actually has a number of line shaft driven pieces of equipment. The machine shop was the home base for the YouTube creators that had gathered there this weekend, and it's also where the meet and greet took place on Saturday.
All right, guys, we're going to come your way. Little Adam Booth magic going on right here.
So I really had a good time at this event. It was well worth the trip, and I'm looking forward to hopefully doing it again in the future. One change I will make, though, is just giving myself a bit more time. I was there on the grounds for 2 days, and I really didn't feel like I had enough time to see everything and really experience all that they had there to offer. So that's one thing I'm going to be doing a little bit differently. And I think that in coming years, they're going to continue to do the gathering of YouTube creators, probably at the February meet. So if there's anybody there you want to meet in person, start planning your trip now. So I'll be back next week and we'll be working on the carnival ride again. I need to get that shaft out of the lathe because there's a few more jobs that I need to do on the lathe, and that thing is holding up the works. I've got a whole playlist covering how we've gotten to this point in the project, and if you want to get caught up on that, click that link to the left and come along for the ride.